My mother and I were reborn. We hoarded supplies and lived in waiting for my brother and his girlfriend to freeze into ice sculptures. My brother, Qinshou, idled away his days nightclubs with his sketchy friends. He met a girlfriend with the same hobbies, Zhao. They actually came home to steal my mother's pension. When my mother found out, she hurried to chase after them. In a panic, Qinshou pushed our mother down the stairs, causing her to break her leg. After receiving the news at work, I rushed to the hospital to take care of her. I kept calling my brother, but he never picked up. When the apocalyptic blizzard finally arrived, my brother came home crying and knocking on the door, kneeling outside, saying he was wrong. Soft-hearted, we opened the door and welcomed him back. My mother hugged him and wept bitterly, thinking the prodigal son had returned, Rebirth, and threw us out of the house. My mother and I were filled with despair. We cursed him for being so cruel to his own mother. Who told you to reject Zhao as your daughter-in-law? Anyway, we will eventually marry out of the family. For the sake of my happiness, just sacrifice yourselves. And Xiaosha freely enjoyed the supplies we had hoarded, watching helplessly as we froze to death at the doorstep. I jolted awake from the nightmare, gasping heavily for air. Suddenly, I felt a warmth down below, followed by a familiar dull pain, probably stimulated by the anxiety of the apocalyptic nightmare. My period came early. I hurriedly rummaged through the cabinet for sanitary pads. Fortunately, my habit of hoarding supplies prevented me from being entirely helpless, seeing the familiar packaging. My racing heart slowly calmed down. It always protects me during my sensitive days. These are Golden Shield quality, award-certified sanitary pads, speaking with real quality, with a mildly acidic surface similar to the body's natural environment. They gently inhibit bacteria, prevent stuffiness, and itching, and reduce odors. With the apocalypse approaching, I definitely need to stock up on these excellent pads to ensure my peace of mind later. Anyone who has frozen to death knows that you feel extremely hot right before you die. I rushed to the living room and gulped down water. My mother rushed over and hugged me tightly. Hui, were you reborn too? Mom, you're back too? I asked, my voice trembling. We talked back and forth, confirming that this wasn't just a dream. In exactly 1 month, the apocalyptic blizzard would arrive. Mom, in this life, do you still plan to care about Qinshou? Because my father passed away early, my mother had always spoiled my brother unconditionally, but at this moment, she shook her head, her eyes filled with absolute resolve. I don't care anymore, since he harmed us like that for Zhao. Let's just grant him his wish this time. Hearing her say this, I breathed a sigh of relief. Then, my mother and I discussed a plan. According to our usual habits, we bombarded my brother with phone calls until he finally turned off his phone. Only then did we sit down to discuss how to deal with the impending extreme cold of the apocalypse. Living in this high-rise apartment definitely won't work. When the apocalypse hits, water, electricity, and gas may be cut off. Survival impossible, I said with a frown. My mother pondered for a moment, nodded, and said, "Oh, that's right. Didn't you say you bought a villa in the suburbs before? Let's hire people to renovate it, so it's ready to withstand extreme cold weather. Then we can avoid people and hoard as many fresh supplies as possible." Agreed. After all, during the apocalypse, Humans are far more dangerous than the extreme cold. Then we need to act quickly. Time is running out. Okay, let's split up and get to work. Mom quickly went to handle the mortgage on our current house. Within a few days, she successfully secured a 6 million loan. Meanwhile, I gathered all the gold bars, investments, and jewelry I had, desperately finding buyers for them. Scraping everything together, I raised another 3 million. After that, Mom immediately contacted contractors to begin the renovation. I stayed at home, frantically buying massive amounts of supplies online. Food, thick cotton quilts, heating equipment, and so on. I rented a warehouse near the villa and used it as the delivery address. In our past lives, after we froze to death, our souls floated around. And that's how we knew this apocalypse lasted for a whole year before ending. A week later, Qinshou sneaked back home. I saw it clearly through the security cameras. He walked straight into my mother's bedroom, rummaging through the drawers to steal jewelry, planning to go out and sell it. Meanwhile, Zhaocha sat on our sofa with her legs crossed. Soon, Qinshou walked over to Zhaocha with the jewelry. Bab, these are all for you. Do you like them? Hashem, I'm quite satisfied with this house of yours too. I really wish your mom would have a sudden accident. Then we could live a good life much sooner. My mother and I were eating. Hearing this, we gritted our teeth in anger. It's truly hard to guard against a thief in the family. This complete loser. Better to give birth to a piece of roasted pork than him. My mother pretended to rush home in a hurry. Upon hearing the door open, Qinshou quickly made Zhaocha hide in the kitchen. My mother hugged Qinshou tightly, just like in our past life. Qinshou, you're finally home. Mum, I know I was wrong. I found a job, and I'm staying at the dorms now. Then, a drama of deep mother-son affection played out, pouring their hearts out to each other. After the act, Qinshou said with feigned embarrassment, Mum, I haven't gotten paid yet. I have no money for living expenses. My mother quickly put on a heartbroken look and hurriedly took money out of her bag for him. I just came back to grab some documents. I have to head right back to the company. Okay, Mom. I have to go to work in a bit too, so I won't walk you out. My mother nodded, turned around, and left. She drove out and met up with me. We sat in a cafe watching the security cameras. At home, Qinshou and Zhaocha excitedly hugged each other. Hee, Qinshou, my love. You're so capable. You have two ATMs at home. Of course. With me, you'll always have the best food and drinks. Then, Zhaocha suggested. She wanted to play something exciting with him. Zhaocha took out her phone and made a call. 10 minutes later, another man and woman arrived at the house. I thought they were just going to eat and drink. But to my surprise, clothes were scattered all over the living room floor. My mother looked up at me and said, Hui, don't go back there for the next few days. I'm going to teach them a good lesson. My mother then called an old friend. That night at dawn, after finishing their second round at the club, the two beasts were ambushed and put into sacks by hired thugs. What greeted them was a storm of punches and kicks. When Qinshou opened his bruised and swollen eyes, his first reaction was to look for Zhao Cha. Holding her unconscious body, he called for an ambulance. The diagnosis showed Zhao Cha's left leg was broken, which would take 100 days to heal. Qinshou devoted himself to taking care of Zhao Cha, so he had absolutely no time to come home. During this time, he called Mom to complain about having no money for food. Mom very generously transferred money to him. With that, he could stay and accompany Zhao Cha with even more peace of mind. When there were only 3 days left until the apocalyptic blizzard. At the entrance of our villa, Mom personally saw off the renovation workers. I took inventory of all the hoarded, long-lasting food supplies. Feeling relieved, I prepared a delicious meal to reward ourselves. Suddenly, Mom received a phone call. "You are Qinshou's mother, right?" Qinshou broke into steel, and I caught him red-handed. "You need to come and resolve this immediately." My mother and I exchanged a glance. Sure enough, what was meant to happen had happened. In our past life, we were terrified they would send Qinshou to prison. We rushed to the scene, apologizing profusely. In the end, Mom even knelt down in front of them. And they finally agreed to settle the matter for hundreds of thousands. But, in this life, things are different. Call the police then. Let him face legal punishment. Your son brought a knife in and almost stole my wife's jade bracelet worth over 100,000. Yes, send him to jail. He won't be coming out for at least 10 years. Call the police. If he's ruined, he's ruined. He was beyond saving anyway. Actually, we suspected that this was a scam set up by Qinshou and his accomplices. Sure enough, just a few minutes after Mom hung up, Qinshou called. Are you crazy? How can you just abandon me? You're being too cold and selfish. Mom ignored his whining and directly asked where the homeowner lived. The person on the other end was delighted, quickly gave an address. How soon will you get here? About 10 minutes. After hanging up, we directly called the police ourselves. After asking for a brief summary of the situation, the police dispatched units immediately. 20 minutes later, we received a call confirming our suspicions. It turned out we were truly scammed by Qinshou in our past life. Right then, Mom's phone, sitting on the table, was bombarded with calls from Qinshou and Zhao Cha. Mom simply muted the phone. "Mom, let's eat first." Hui, from now on, Mom only has you as her child. My mother is a soft-hearted person. Shudunk. The greatest punishment for Qinshou is simply abandoning him. But I am much more ruthless. I left some supplies at the high-rise apartment, but I tampered with them. 2 days later, I picked up my phone and sent a message to Qinshou. "Brother, don't be mad at Mom. She was just too angry the other day when she said she didn't care about you. She scolded you because she had problems at work that day. We are both on a business trip out of town and won't be back for a while. We left all your favorite foods at home. There's a lot. You should go home quickly." When Qinshou did something wrong as a kid, Mom would apologize for him. When he grew up and caused trouble, Mom and I always covered for him. This nurtured his sense of entitlement. thinking we were obligated to tolerate him. Therefore, he didn't doubt my message at all. Hoarding xiao chassand. He excitedly headed back to that apartment. Through the security cameras in the house, I saw them walk in. My sister said she and Mom went on a business trip and won't be back for at least a week. So this place is our kingdom now. So, the various dishes I had laid out on the table for them. They immediately grabbed meat rolls from the fridge, along with 2 bottles of drinks. In one of the bottles, the blueberry juice, I had already spiked it with strong laxatives. Zhao Cha poured a glass of blueberry juice for Qinshou. I don't like blueberry juice. You drink it, babe. My mom and sister are unbelievable. They know I don't like this flavor. Qinshou, my love. I'll definitely remember from now on, I'll drink this one. Ah? Of course I know that. But he's not the only one living in this house. He, exactly. If he doesn't drink it, someone else will. Even down in the parking lot, I intentionally left my car for them. In a hidden spot inside the car, I installed a pinhole camera. I watched as Zhao Cha chugged a large glass of blueberry juice. Moments later, her stomach started rumbling violently. She couldn't even finish her meal, and desperately sprinted to the bathroom. Worried, Qinshou went to the bathroom door to check on her. Zhao Cha ran back and forth multiple times without getting better. Weak and drained, she collapsed onto the sofa. Qinshou, did that blueberry juice expire? Qinshou quickly went to check the juice bottle. The production date on this is very fresh. It's all Hui's fault. She can't even get something simple right, causing my baby's stomach to hurt. Soon after, Zhao Cha started sweating profusely, breathing heavily, and feeling dizzy. What is going on? Qinshou, hurry up and take me to the hospital. Hearing this, Qinshou turned and ran into my mother's bedroom. Lo. Was he still trying to find something to sell for cash? He turned the house upside down but found absolutely nothing. At the moment, Zhao Cha, who had been in a dazed state, suddenly opened her eyes wide. She sat up in terror and screamed. Don't kill me. Huh, did she reincarnate too? The timing matched perfectly with the special gift I had prepared for her. Qinshou was frantically dialing the phone. Seeing this, Zhao Cha hurriedly reached out and grabbed him. Don't call. The apocalypse is coming soon. If we go to the hospital, we'll only end up trapped and die there. There's really going to be an apocalypse. Then what should we do? Hurry, let's go out and grab warm clothes and supplies. We only have half a day left. Right then. Qinshou seemed like he had been struck by lightning. He jolted as if waking from a nightmare and roared. Who the hell dared to scheme against us? When I find them, I won't let them off easily. Ah, so both of them have been reborn now. Let's go find my mom and Hui. Judging by their recent behavior, they must have been reborn too. They definitely have all the supplies prepared by now. We can't stay in this high-rise apartment anymore. Otherwise, we'll die just like in our past life. Okay. They must be at the countryside house, which is 1,000 kilometers away from here. Good thing Hui's car is in the parking lot. If we drive there, it will take about 10 hours. Qinshou, with my current condition, I won't survive the trip. I'll buy some medicine on the way. Don't worry, I won't give up on you. When we get there, I'll play the victim. And my mom and sister will definitely soften up. They grabbed the car keys near the door and prepared to drive out to find me. I switched the feed to the hidden camera inside the car. On the screen, Qinshou was driving at top speed with Zhao Cha. Zhao Cha clutched her stomach, letting out constant, disgusting noises. Qinshou couldn't decide whether to feel sorry for her or be disgusted. His face was completely dark. He could only drive while cursing my mother and me. Watching the monitor, I couldn't help but laugh coldly. Outside, a light drizzle had begun to fall. My good brother probably thinks that once he reaches the destination, hope awaits him. Too bad, I'm the ruthless, reborn Hui now. I hope he likes the surprise I've prepared for him. And had developed a high fever. Seeing a pharmacy by the roadside, Qinshou hit the brakes abruptly. Babe, hold on a little longer. I'll go buy some medicine right now. Zhao Cha weakly nodded. Qinshou sprinted to the pharmacy like he was running a 100-meter dash. A few minutes later, he rushed back with a bag of medicine. Carefully, he fed Zhao Cha glucose and fever reducers. Babe, how is it? Feeling better? A bit. Keep driving. We must arrive before 6 a.m. tomorrow. Otherwise, once the heavy snow falls, we won't have a chance to get our revenge. Okay? Don't speak anymore, Jurès. I'll keep driving. He restarted the car and continued speeding down the road. I watched the monitor quietly. Goyev, I hope you to like the burial ground I picked out for you. Qinshou drove relentlessly. It took 10 hours, but they finally reached the village. He parked the car few dozen meters away from our old house. The old house was just built last spring, far away from the main village. Normally, it's a 20-minute walk to the village center. If Mom and I hadn't worried that Qinshou might come looking for us after being reborn, we would have considered surviving the apocalypse here. Right at that moment, snow began to fall from the sky. I took a sip of my hot coffee and murmured, the apocalyptic blizzard has officially begun. By now, Xiao Chao's fever had broken. Once we trick them into opening the door, I will personally kill them. Qinshou nodded without hesitation. Okay, you hide in the trunk for now. I'm afraid if they see you, they won't open the door. I took all of this in through the security camera. Qinshou called my mother as he walked towards the house. Because he was dressed so thinly, his face was turning red from the cold, and he was shivering uncontrollably. I smiled and answered the phone. Brother, what brings you to call Mom today? Hui, I've arrived at the village. I missed you and Mom so much. Can you open the door for me? You still have the nerve to look for us. Did you forget how you killed us in our past life? Sister, that was only because I was deceived by Zhao Cha. Not long after you died, we were robbed of all our supplies too. Before I died, I regretted treating you both like that. Thank God for giving me a chance to make it up to you. Well, we do hate you. But after all, we're family, HMPH. Only, if Zhao Cha dies, will I open the door for you. Mom, walking out from the kitchen, played along and said, You are my own flesh and blood after all. I'm willing to give you one last chance. Qinshou gritted his teeth. He knew that this fragile trust could instantly collapse if he made one wrong move. Okay. We really are on the same page. Ibrochiaosha's corpse. Over with me. Mom and I exchanged a glance, sneering internally. Qinshou turned and opened the trunk, saying to Zhao Cha, They need to be sure you're dead before they let me in. I'm going to stab you a few times right now. Don't worry, I know exactly where to hit, okay? I know this is our only chance to survive. Yeah. Once we get inside, you can deal with them however you want. Qinshou pulled out his knife and decisively stabbed Zhao Cha a few times. Zhao Cha trembled, tightly covering her mouth. As bright, red roses blossomed on her body. Watching the screen, a cold smile curled on my lips. You two can wait until Mom finishes scolding you to die. Qinshou slowly drove up to the front of the old house. With great effort, he dragged Zhao Cha's body out of the car. I quickly switched to the camera at the front door of the old house. On zoomed in. Zhao Cha's face was filled with pain, her body constantly twitching. Mom, sister. Look, I was telling the truth. I shouted through the camera speaker. Stab Zhao Cha again right now. I want to see if it's real. I don't know if Qinshou was numb from the cold or blinded by desperation, but he didn't question the source of my voice. Oui. Zhao Cha is already dead. Can't you just let it go? If you want to come in, do as I say. Exactly. We need to see if you still have lingering feelings for her. Desperate to get inside, Qinshou shut his eyes and stabbed down hard. I saw Zhao Cha's face twist in agony, but she was forced to endure it in silence. It was so incredibly satisfying. After that, Mom and I kept giving him orders. Aunt Xiaosha had more and more fresh roses added to her body. In just over 10 minutes, the temperature had plummeted to -30 degrees. Ice crystals had formed on Qinshou's eyebrows. His hands couldn't even hold the knife steadily, and it dropped to the ground. Mom and I exchanged a smiling glance. Brother, Mom agreed to let you in. Go. I'm starting to get a fever. Open the door. The key is under the brick at the doorstep. Open it yourself. Hearing this, Qinshou immediately unlocked the door. However, after eagerly rushing inside, he discovered an utterly empty house with no one inside. He cursed loudly as he stumbled back out, struggling to lift Zhao Cha back into the car, and immediately tried to start it for heat. But before they could even warm up, the car died because it had completely run out of gas. BT team, The outdoor temperature had dropped to -50 degrees. Without proper preparation, it was absolutely impossible to walk in the snow. And Xiaosha quickly turned purple from the extreme cold. I turned off the monitor, shared a smile with my mom, and, in a great mood, we headed to the kitchen to prepare some afternoon tea. That night, I slept exceptionally well. The next morning, when I checked the cameras again, I saw Qinshou and Zhao Cha completely frozen into ice sculptures. The snow had buried the entire first floor overnight. The temperature had also plunged to -90 degrees. Thankfully, the villa we carefully selected was highly concealed, surrounded by a desolate landscape. It felt like a hidden utopia, isolated from the world, far away from the chaos of society. In the days that followed, my mom and I spent our time reading by the fireplace, drinking tea, and occasionally exercising on the treadmill. Time quietly slipped away. One day, I was playing the guitar, while Mom sang along. During a break, I went to grab a drink. Passing by the window, I noticed the snow had stopped. Mom, the snow stopped. Come look, quickly. Mom put down the microphone and hurried over. Thank goodness, the apocalypse is finally coming to an end. We smiled, hugged each other, and cried tears of joy.